In the town of Edrinfall, there was a door that was never locked. Not during war, not during plague, not even at night. It stood at the center of the town square, set into a low stone building with no markings and no purpose anyone could name. There was no handle on the outside, only a wooden door, always left slightly open. When I arrived in Edrinfall, that was the first rule I learned. Do not close the door. No one explained why. I assumed it was superstition. Every town has its rituals, its quiet bargains with fear. The people of Edrinfall were calm, orderly, almost relieved by routine. At sunset, they gathered their children. At dawn, they opened their shops, and always the door remained open. I asked an old man what lay inside. Nothing, he said too quickly. At night, I began to hear it, a sound not quite like breathing, not quite like movement, something slow, patient, as if the building itself were waiting. Still, no one went near it. I watched storms roll through the square, rain pouring into the doorway. No one closed it. I watched men pass by at night, glance at the door, then hurry away. On the fourth night, I decided to end the foolishness. I waited until the square was empty. The door was heavier than it looked, swollen with age. When I pushed it shut, the sound echoed sharply across the stone. The moment it closed, the town changed. The air tightened. The insects fell silent. Somewhere far away, someone screamed. I tried to open the door again. It would not move. From inside the building came a sound like a deep, satisfied breath. I ran. By morning, the town was silent. Every house stood intact, every street untouched. But no one came out. No doors opened. No voices answered when I called. They were gone. All of them. As the sun climbed higher, the door opened on its own. Inside was not a room, but a hollow darkness that stretched far deeper than the stone should allow. And in that darkness, I understood the truth the town had lived with for generations. The door was never meant to keep something out. It was meant to let it leave. What lived inside did not hunt. It passed through. When the door remained open, it moved on, night after night, taking only what it needed before slipping away. When the door was closed, it stayed. And when it stayed, nothing else did. By nightfall, I felt it watching me, waiting for the door to close again. I tried to flee Edrinfall, but every road curved back toward the square. Every path ended where the door stood open. At dawn, I made the same choice the town had made before me. I stood beside the door, not as a guardian, as a warning. Now travelers pass through Edrinfall again. They say it is peaceful, empty but safe. They never ask why the door is open, and I never tell them. Because if the door ever closes, it won't leave next time, and someone must always be there to make sure it never does.